How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am back for another comic book video. In the last video, I did my top 10 residents of the Phantom Zone for Earth 1. And in this video, I'm going to be doing the top 10 residents of the Phantom Zone for the New Earth. For those of you who don't know, New Earth first came out in Crisis of Infinite Earths number 11 in 1986. Crisis on Infinity Earth was DC trying to mainstream the DC universe, since all their stories were so out there. Some of them didn't even connect to other things, and it was getting awful confusing. Crisis, one of the many crises to come. This one created the New Earth. So let's get this started with number 10. Number 10 is the only person on this list who not only is not Kryptonian, he used the Phantom Zone instead of being trapped in it. Coming in at number 10, Prometheus. Prometheus, real name unrevealed, first appeared in New Year's Evil Prometheus number 1 in 1998. Prometheus is the son of a couple of crime-committing hippies. Many of their crimes were brutal. They were trying to be the next Bonnie and Clyde. They would be later cornered by police and gunned down. When Prometheus turned 16, he followed in their footsteps and used the money that they got from their crimes to fund his career of crime. Later, he would find access to a zone that he would dub the Ghost Zone. He killed an alien who was the leader of a sect of monks located in the Himalayan mountains. This zone was called hyperspace by the White Martians, but called the Phantom Zone by the Kryptonians. Prometheus had the ability to access the Ghost Zone whenever he wanted to. He set up his base of operations there, where he could go there after the crimes that he committed, or to recover once he has been beaten by heroes. And he used this base of operations for most of his career. Now, coming in at number 9 and number 8, it shows that you really just can't trust bad guys. And I'm covering these two because you can't talk about one without the other. So let's do number 9 and number 8. Coming in at number 9 and number 8, it is Nadia, Vadim, and Azrael. Both of them appeared in Action Comics number 877 in 2009. I can't find out why they were put in the Phantom Zone, but after they were released, they agreed to be sleeper agents on the planet Earth. They decided that they would rather ignore their mission parameters and commit a violent reign of terror, doing whatever crime just suited their fancy at the time. They would slaughter anybody who got in their way, and they would come to the attention of the Kryptonian heroes Nightwing and Flamebird, who would track them down and battle them in New Mexico. Now, coming in at the next 3, number 7, 6, and 5, they were all criminals, and that's why they were thrown into the Phantom Zone. But I think number 7 was treated harshly because he had no criminal intent. The other two definitely did. Coming in at number 7, Non. Non first appeared in Action Comics number 845 in 2007. Non was tasked to research the strange anomalies around Krypton, and he got his best student, Jor-El, to help him study these anomalies. He found out that Krypton was going to be exploding in 90 days, and the Science Council didn't want to hear what they had to say. They told them to stay quiet, while Jor-El didn't decided that he would stay quiet, Non went to tell anybody who would listen to him about Krypton having very little time left. The Science Council, not liking what Non was doing, decided to have him lobotomized and then later thrown into the Phantom Zone, which Krypton would in fact explode. So maybe the Scientific Council should have been listening to what he had to say. Coming in at number 6, Dez-Ium. Dez-Ium first appeared in Action Comics number 851 in 2007. Devs, I think I'm pronouncing that right, was a Kryptonian criminal who was arrested for murder and perversion. He was sent to Fort Ross, where he would later be thrown into the Phantom Zone. He would become one of General Zod's followers, and when they were able to get out of the Phantom Zone, Dev decided to stay so he could battle Superman in the Phantom Zone, because in the Phantom Zone, Kryptonians don't have powers. Superman was later transferred to them, and Superman almost died at the hands of Dev, but he was saved by a sympathetic person that was also in the Phantom Zone who helped save Superman's life and keep him from dying. Coming in at number 5, Val-Tai. Val-Tai first appeared in Superman, World of New Krypton number 4 in 2009. Val was a psychopathic Kryptonian who destroyed a Kryptonian city to escape a Green Lantern. He was later captured and sentenced to the Phantom Zone. When Zod freed a lot of the criminals from the Phantom Zone to go to Earth, Val decided to stay on New Krypton, where he would later be captured by the Red Shard, which was a group of the military guard that was commanded by Kal-El. And I think he was thrown back into the Phantom Zone, and he vowed his revenge against Superman. Now, number 4 and number 3 is a married couple in the Phantom Zone, which really means if you're going to go away for a vacation, you really should do it together. Coming in at number 4 and number 3, Ursa and General Zod. Ursa and General Zod were both part of the military arm of the Kryptonian Science Council and were sent to arrest Jor-El and Non because of the discoveries that they found about Krypton's short life, which the Council refused to believe. Jor-El said that he would remain silent, but Non said that he would speak on this. As Non went around and was telling everybody about Krypton's soon destruction, Zod and Ursa found out that Non's findings were absolutely correct and Krypton did not have long to go. After Non was lobotomized, this angered Ursa and General Zod because the Science Council was not wanting to listen to reason, thinking that people were going to cause an insurrection, and actually the lobotomizing of Non caused that insurrection. They would later be captured, and all 3 of them would be transported to the Phantom Zone by the request of Jor-El, as we know is Superman's father, because the Science Council was going to have all 3 of them killed. So instead, they were transported to the Phantom Zone. Now, coming in at number 2 would actually have a pretty extensive history, and a rather interesting one, after the Phantom Zone. In fact, he was born in the Phantom Zone. That's a really interesting one. So, here's number 2. Coming in at number 2, Lor-Zod. Lor-Zod first appeared in Action Comics number 844 in 2006. Lord Zod is actually the son of Ursula and General Zod, and was actually born in the Phantom Zone. He would later get out of the Phantom Zone and would be adopted by Superman and would go by the name Christopher Kent. He would be Superboy for a while until he became the Kryptonian superhero known as Nightwing. Now, coming in at number 1, the reason I put him at number 1 is he is the first resident of the Phantom Zone of New Earth. He was the first person to be put into the Phantom Zone. So, here's number 1. Coming in at number 1, Jax Ure. Jax Ure first appeared in Action Comics number 846 in 2007. He is a scientist from the planet Krypton who was responsible for the destruction of one of Krypton's moon, and also lost the city of Kandor. He was the very first person to be sentenced to the Phantom Zone. He would later be released from the Phantom Zone when General Zod escaped, and he would become one of Zod's sleeper agents and would end up working for Star Labs. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have another 2 planned for Phantom Zone residents. I think they're interesting, so stay tuned for that coming up. Please give that like button a click. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.